Hello, and welcome to Pre-calculus 12. I hope you had a great summer, and yeah, welcome back to school. So, I am Mr. Brandon, as most of you should know. Those of you who are new, welcome, but I'm pretty sure most of you are returning. And yeah, let's dive into this course already. As you can see, some things are going to be a little bit different. So, what's the point? What are the purposes for this video? So I'm going to go through that at this point. So first thing, hopefully you are going to learn what this course looks like, and you'll get to see what kind of materials you'll need for the class. Maybe you'll need to buy a few things before I get into this. I'm going to give you a sense as to what to expect from this first week, or at least the first 5 classes, and to get you set up with Google Classroom, and finally to give you a little bit of encouragement, because some of this might seem a little bit daunting at first. Let's dive into this. So, course overview. What is this class going to look like? So, I'm going to be doing something called the flipped classroom, something you might have heard of, probably not. You might have heard from previous students what's going to happen. So, this is the class. What you're going to see is a video first. You're going to watch this at home before class. I will assign this earlier so that you'll get to see it, and give you kind of a schedule for the whole unit right at the beginning, so you can see all the videos, all the YouTube links, all the homework, everything for the whole unit all at once. Like I said, you'll watch the video at home first, and then when you come to class, if we're in class, you will see, or you'll be able to ask me lots of questions. So you can ask me questions on the video, you can do the homework. So it's a little bit flipped. It's not watch the videos or watch the lesson in class and then go home and do the homework. It's watch the video at home and then come to class and ask questions. So this is a little bit reversed, but as you'll notice, I'm still teaching you. So I'm going to be going through and making these videos new this year, so you get them nice and fresh. They're going to be not super polished at this point. And as you'll notice, I'm experimenting a little bit with the PowerPoints to try and give a little bit of a flair to it. So these lessons at home, I am committing to you that they're going to be a maximum of 20 minutes, because I know that's a lot to go through. I'm going to try and make it short and quick and to the point, get all the bare bones, what you need right away. And then when you come to class, maybe I'll expand on some of that. But I want to make this 20-minute max. And I am promising you at this point, this is still the first video, I haven't made all the other ones, I'm promising you at this point, I will make it 20 minutes. If I make it any longer than 20 minutes, because I need to make more or put more into it, I will give you that much time free in class. So I promise you that now. That puts an onus on me to actually have to make it 20 minutes. So then you're going to come to class, you're going to ask me questions. So you're going to come to class and you need to come prepared with good questions. So if you come to class, you haven't watched the video, you haven't looked at any of the material, you're going to struggle with this class. So you really need to know how to make good questions. And that's, spoiler alert, that's what we're going to be doing this week. So is teaching you how to formulate good questions, how to look at writing notes for these, as it's a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit trickier. So I'm going to teach you how to get organized in this class and what you need for it. So this gives me it gives you guys a little bit more flexibility. So as I said, I'm going to post the whole unit all at once, so you can be a bit flexible. If you find the first section really easy, you can do a little bit less of that and move on to the more difficult stuff. If you're struggling at the beginning, you can take a little bit more time to get the basics of the chapter done, and then a little bit later you can move into the more complex stuff. So this gives you some flexibility, but at the same time, you have more responsibility. I'm not going to be always checking over you and being like, okay, what section are you at? You need to move along. I will for the first little bit, but later on, you're going to have to start learning how to pace yourself with this. So I will give you some pacing as far as dates and suggested dates when you should have stuff done. But then you will need to actually do it yourself a little bit. So it gives you a little bit more responsibility. And once we get into a class, or the first unit, you'll be able to see the whole unit, and you'll see that I've got dates laid out when you should have stuff done. So once you get into the first unit, that might make a little bit more sense. But as you'll see, you're going to have videos like this to watch for every single class. Is this more difficult? I don't like this question. The reason I ask this question is because I get this all the time. Is it more difficult? In some sense, yes, because you're learning how to do something new. It's a little bit different way of doing the class, but you'll be fine. Like, as long as you are willing to give it a try, you will surprise yourself at what you can do. And like I said, the beginning, I'm going to teach you and show you and demonstrate to you how you can be successful in this class. And the reason why I like this way and the reason why I'm giving you this way is it starts to prepare you a little bit for university. I'm going to guide you through it. So it's not just a straight grade 12 to university and then you're overwhelmed with everything being new. Think of this as kind of like an in-between point, so that I'm going to push you a little bit into learning how to be in university while still holding your hand a bit. So it's going to be a little bit rough at first, but I'm hoping that we'll get through it. I'm hoping that you will start to feel more comfortable, and it'll just become rhythm and habit as we get through it. So, and as far as marks go, I know some of you are thinking this is a grade 12. I need the highest marks I can possibly get. Doing something new in the last year is going to be detrimental to my marks. I have had no issues with marks. So students who've done this in the past, their marks have been just fine. The students who are doing not so good are the students who just aren't doing the work, just like any other class. So the marks do not change based on doing this. And as I said, I'm going to spend the first little bit showing you and guiding you through this process. Stuff. What do you need? So here's all the things that you'll need. Obviously pencils, obviously erasers. Notice I put S because you're going to need multiple of these throughout this class. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. Just like in these videos that I'm making, I'm going to make mistakes. So mistakes are part of the learning process. You're not going to get it 100% perfect at the beginning, and that is fine. You're going to need a ruler. Unfortunately, for some of you, there's a lot of graphs in this course. You're going to need a ruler. Just prepare for it, okay? If you hate graphs, just start learning to appreciate it. I hated graphs all through high school, all through first year university, and then I realized, oh, most of math is graphing once you get into university. So you gotta just accept graphs at some point. Textbook. You'll get a textbook from the library once we actually get into class. Until then, I will give you supplementary questions that you'll be able to work at. You'll need a phone/computer. I'm assuming all of you have one of these because, like I said, you will have these videos to watch and you'll need to go through that. Once we're in class, if you do not have access to YouTube or you don't have a stable internet, if you bring me a USB stick, I can give you these videos as much as will fit on your USB. So you need to have these. You need to have something to watch this material from, and yeah, go through that. You'll need a notebook, so either one that is connected all at the back, or a ringed book, or a binder with paper. So I'm going to be forcing you in the first unit to use a specific kind of note-taking technique that I think is the most beneficial in this class. So you will be needing to do this for every single lesson. So you need either a notebook or a binder with paper, something that you can write stuff down and put all your notes into this. You need something to keep this organized. If you're not organized, this is going to be a big issue. And then obviously a calculator. So a standard one is fine. Yeah, this is what I've got for you for now that you'll need for sure. If there's anything else in the middle of the course that you might need for a lesson or two, I will remind you of that then. But for sure, these things. Get these things now. You need them. You're going to use them. First week. What's it going to look like? Let's take a look. So, day 1, course introduction. Ta-da, you're doing this right now. So congratulations. There you go. Day 2, I'm going to show you how to take notes. So this one, I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to go through a video, show you how to write the notes. You need to do this. This is worth marks. Note taking is marks. It's very essential to this. You need to learn how to take good notes. Day 3. So we're going to, again, take notes. We're going to work as a class to make the notes. So we're going to come up together with an idea as to what can we put for different sections and go through that. Day 4, guess what? We're still taking notes, but this time you're going to do it yourself. Notice the scaffolding. I do it, we do it as a group, you do it individually. This is the process that we're going to be looking at. And then day 5, yes, we're spending an entire class on how to ask a good question. How many times have you heard in class a student ask the question, I don't understand? Which is not a question. It drives me nuts all the time. So I'm going to show you how to ask a good question. What does a good question look like? What is a bad question? A bad question being something that actually won't give you any sort of direction. So because in this class a lot of it is you actually watching the lesson yourself, coming to me and asking questions, you need to know how to make a good question. So this is very important, and this is something that's going to benefit you for every class outside of school, all over the place. So this is good for you to learn how to do this. So that's the first 5 days. Here's what we're going to be doing. Let's move on. Google Classroom, GC as I call it, because Google Classroom is too long to write. So let's get you set up. So everything is going to be posted on Google Classroom. When I post the unit schedule, Google Classroom. When I post the homework, Google Classroom. When I put up YouTube links, guess what? Google Classroom. When I make an announcement in the class, Google Classroom. So it's important that you're on Google Classroom. You need to be checking it regularly. By regularly, I don't mean every 5 minutes, but you need to be checking it throughout the day or the morning before class, because maybe I posted an announcement or something like that. Class code, I don't have it right now. I haven't set up the website. I will give this to you in class. But once you have the class code, you'll be able to go on there. You can access all the materials through that. So that's Google Classroom. Encouragement. You can do this. I know this seems like it's daunting. It's something new. Like I said, I'm going to be walking you through this process. So I'm hoping in this class you'll be able to see some beauty in mathematics. I'm going to pull up something at the end of this year or at the end of each of the units and show this entire course can be summarized in one sentence. And it's not some over philosophical arguments. It's just a simple equation that summarizes everything. So you will see the beauty in us spending an entire year looking at one equation and its effects. So I'm hoping you can see some of the beauty in this. I'm hoping you can enjoy this. I'm hoping that this method of watching videos that you can watch multiple times or rewatch a certain part over and over again, I'm hoping you see the benefits of this as well, not just the, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. You can and you will do well in this course if you're willing to actually try this and put some effort in. Like I said, the students who struggle in this class are the ones who are stubborn and say, I don't like learning through videos. I don't like doing this online. I don't like this. I don't like this. You just make a negative attitude. You're not going to do well. Okay? If you're like, okay, I can do this. I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to be taught how to do it even though I don't know what's going on. You will find that you will do very well. And I'm hoping you'll get some enjoyment out of it as well. I'm You'll notice with this PowerPoint, it's very blank. I'm hoping to spice it up a little bit. Maybe add some music or something like that. Or at least it's not just black writing on white background. But I'm hoping I can tweak that once I get a little bit of time to do this. So just give it a try. You can do this. You'll do fine. Yes, it's going to require you to think and not just sit in the classroom, sit back and just absorb information. You actually have to be active in seeking out what you want to learn. So I'm hoping this will be a good chance to do this. And despite the fact that you think I do at home, I watch the lesson, I come home or I come to class and I do the homework. Where is Mr. Brandon in all this? So you're not alone. Okay, I'm here and I'm with you. Think if those of you who are Lord of the Rings fans, think of Gandalf. Okay, Gandalf wasn't with them the entire way through. He just disappeared every once in a while. I'm not going to disappear out of the class, hopefully, but Gandalf came when it was needed. So I'm here as a guide. I'm not here as a um, I'm the head knowledge person and I'm just going to blurt out all this information and you memorize it. That's not how this course is. This is you discovering how you can learn best. This is you discovering um, what what you don't understand and coming to me for help for that information. So I'm here. I'm going to be with you the whole process. I'm not abandoning you. You're not alone. So this is hopefully a good amount of encouragement. Is that the last slide? It is the last slide. So that is, yeah, that is what's going to happen for this class. Um, and I hope that you are excited and you are ready to go. So that's the first lesson.